Question number 4 says, define your community or audience. What is your relationship to the audiences or communities you work with, and how does your identity play a role in this? So this is for a lot of us, this may be a place where many different intersections of our identities come together. But this is where you're going to talk about who you are and who you're working with, right? For some of us, that might be very clear. If you are saying, I am a Black woman making this work for other Black women who live in Germantown, neighborhood of Philadelphia, right? You have a very specific audience of who you are making this work for and how that relates to who you are. For others, we might be making work that we want to address a variety of different audiences. And that's okay. We might, but the thing is that you need to spell out who all those different audiences are. What we don't want here is just a general answer of everyone in Philadelphia who cares about immigration, right? That's too broad. So give us more of a sense of who are the audiences that you're trying to reach with your project. And also, what is your role in relationship to them? And this is particularly important if you are someone who is going to be working in the role of a bridge builder or somehow working in a community that you're not necessarily from or a part of. But you need to show the panel here that you have an understanding about what your relationship is as someone who maybe isn't from the neighborhood originally, but is going to be working with long-term residents there. If you're someone who's younger and you're going to be working with seniors, what is your relationship there? So you're talking about yourself in relationship to the communities that you're working with as well. For number 5, we talk about where the question is, how does the project engage the audience or communities you're working with? If your project takes place outside of the Delaware Valley region, explain how you will make a connection to the region and what impact to expect. So the first part of this question, another way to think about this might be, what is your marketing and outreach plan? Or how are you going to connect with audiences? How are they going to find out about your project? How are they going to participate in your project? So if you are someone that is already very much connected in the community that you imagine sharing your project with, don't assume that the panel knows that. Let them know how you're going to let people in your community know. So even if it's, I have 2,000 followers on Facebook and I'm just going to announce this on my Facebook page, that is fine, but make sure you explain who that is and who are those people in that community. Are they other people that are similarly interested in those issues? Are they other artists that are doing the same practice? If you are working with young people, how are you going to work with those young people and engage with them? How are they going to have agency in the project, right? We always want to make sure that if you're working with another constituent group that is not a group that you are from or of, that how do you know that this project is something that community wants or needs, and how are you engaging in that dialogue with them to find that out? If you were doing a project that involves traveling somewhere else, let's say overseas or to another part of the country, where maybe you're going to do some photographs or document people nationally, how are you going to bring that back to the Delaware Valley region? So is there going to be some screening here where you would show your film? Are you going to have an exhibit of the photography? Whatever the project is in the art form, if it is something that involves research or some sort of aspect that happens outside the region, you have to be able to show how it's going to connect back locally.